Good morning, gorgeous. It's great to see you. I know I'm a little bit late, but hey, I'm here. That's the main thing. Let me show you the garden. It's a great day for showing off flowers. We'll start with the tree fern. That's the neighbour's tree fern. It's really grown over the years. Good morning, Andrew. So here we are. I'm actually going to walk over the garden that I weed in the weekend. I'm going to say a proper hello to the cotinus, which is fabulous. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, gorgeous people. I want you to see this. Look, the foliage is just glorious. And I don't need to say anything else. It's so beautiful. It's why I love this tree. Anthony, good morning. It's great to see you. Alright, oh look, we've got an unseasonable violet here. So, just one. Focus. There you go. Yeah, it's good to be in here. Yes, it's a little bit sunburnt now. Violets don't really like the sun. But we have lilies. Good morning, Linda. Oh my God, you dug yourself out and you're on the bridge on time. Well done. Enjoy the flowers. So we have a little miniature rose, which is doing what a lot of yellow ones do and going pink. And there's some really nice coriander there, which I need to use. Come on, give us some there you go. That is coriander growing not in a glass house, so it's very vigorous. It'll be strong. And these are the miniature roses that are recovering from having been shaded for far too long. But look at this. Just the one flower. Come on. There you go. It's a beautiful colour. What else have we got here? I'm going to show you the dahlias. See how they get sunburnt? This is a fresh one. And there it is. So vibrant. The colour is just glorious. And something else that I'm very excited about. Oh look, this will be open soon. This is another Japanese iris, and it's called Summer Storm. Good morning, Jan. So you can imagine the dark colour, right? It's got lightning strikes on the petals. And here, finally, without having been knocked off by the wind, is because the first one did get knocked off, and I've got it inside. This is the iris that I thought I'd lost. Good morning, Kristen. This is beautiful. I'm so pleased that I haven't lost this iris. Haven't seen it flower like this for many years. It was just shaded, and irises don't like the shade. So here it is in its happy place, and that's great. We got to see the white rose. You can see it has been raining because there's brown bits on the petals, but you know, it's lovely out here now. And more roses over there. They're always a bit scruffy here, but they'll probably do better because they're not so shaded now. This is the nicest flower on the compassion rose, and it's glorious. Good morning, Holly. It's you. So a little picture, but I haven't connected your picture with you. So now I've had another opportunity to make that neural connection. And look, here's the white philtrum. Isn't it glorious? Get down underneath it. It's different. Yeah, it's another good time of the year in the garden, Jan, so I'm glad it looks amazing, because if it didn't look amazing now, we'd be kind of in trouble. And here's the sweetheart rose. I'm going to stand in the sun, because there you can see the colour better. Sunshine is great on your back, but for seeing the colour of flowers, it's actually terrible, especially on camera. So there you are. I'm just getting a little bit closer. Isn't it beautiful? I love this. It's an old-fashioned rose, but it's such a good one. And this is a cutting of the masquerade rose that I finally gave up on. Must have been 40, 50 years old. It's not very vigorous, but hopefully it'll grow. And the foxglove. So, yeah, this is the garden. It is the time of year. See, I did some weeding there. This place here gets invaded by weeds from next door, so I'm not planting anything there yet. Got to get it more under control. So, because once you planted something, it's always hard. And the weeds that invade are things that run through the ground. Oh, I've got sun in my eye. Oh well, So, in Norway it's winter. Well, yes, because it's nearly midsummer, right? 21st is going to be midsummer. So, and midwinter for you. So, yeah, the nights are long and dark, and here they're short, which makes it interesting sometimes getting enough sleep. So, what I want to talk about today... Hi, Nora! Lovely to see you in your lunch hour, I think. What I want to talk about today is the whole business of feeling bad, believe it or not. Just feeling bad and what that's about. Because, we talk a lot about creating your future, choosing your reality, and shifting your emotional state into a state of being that is as you want your future to be. But what is the deal with negative emotions? And what have they got to do with physical pain? And that was the other connection I wanted to make, because there is a connection. There's a feedback loop. There really is. The more you focus on what's going on in your body, the more you feel it, the worse you feel, and then the worse you feel. So the first really basic fundamental thing that I want to say, and this is what I've learned for myself, and believe me, I'm doing it day to day, just because of what I'm experiencing, what's going on for me. If I am feeling scared, angry, frustrated, like climbing the walls, sad, by the way, these are all states I've experienced in the last few days, for no apparent reason, by the way, just shit coming up, oh my God, I know that my brain and my heart are incoherent. Direct correlation. You can't have one without the other. End of story. Beginning of story, right? So just to very briefly, and without all the proper facts and everything, sum up what heart and brain incoherence are, and thereby talk about coherence. Oh, thank goodness, the clouds are covering the sun. Thank you, Gaia. Incoherence, right? Survival. What's incoherence got to do with survival? Well, if I'm a cave woman and I gotta go to the watering hole and I know that there is a saber-toothed lion that hunts on the path to the watering hole, well, it's me against the saber-toothed lion, and if that lion shows up and attacks, there is a primitive system in my body that immediately diverts energy away from digestion, because, I got to survive. If I'm going to digest my meal, that can be put off. It diverts energy away from immunity, because if I'm going to survive, well, fighting disease can wait. It takes energy and diverts it into the extremities for running. It opens up the pupils so that, you can see better, and the brain goes into high alert. And all the brain is doing is scanning the environment for danger. G'day, Julian! Oh, the crew's back on the bridge. Yay! I'm scanning the environment, looking for how I'm going to keep my body safe, where I'm going to go to do that, and how long it's going to take me to get there. That is survival. Translate that to modern day life. We still obsess about our bodies, but it's often about how they look, or whether they're well, or whether they're sick, or whether they're going on holiday next year or not. We still obsess about the environment. Oh, my house isn't pretty enough. God, I've done that one. I don't have enough money, as in we're going to starve. That's the primitive thought. And, oh my God, I've got these bills to pay and I can't pay them in time. The bill is the saber-toothed tiger, and you're running away from it, and you're sitting in your chair looking at your bank balance, and it's like you got your foot on the gas pedal, the engine is going whee, and you're going nowhere. So you don't get to run away from the saber-toothed tiger and either get eaten or survive. You're just endlessly sitting still, running like mad inside yourself. And because you are eternally, ongoing, chronically running away from a saber-toothed tiger inside your own body, inside your own mind, and you don't realise it, that primitive nervous system is still constantly hyper-vigilantly looking for danger, and you are amped up on stress hormones, and you find yourself getting impatient and frustrated and pushing people out of the way and doing all the things that you need to do when you've got to survive, right? And when you're doing all of that, Because your brain is just constantly going, is there danger there? Is there danger there? What's there danger there? What does that sound like? Is that safe or is that not? What was that thing? Is that it's constantly surveying the environment for danger. And when it does that, it starts to become very compartmentalized, and it's not working together harmoniously. It becomes dissonant. It becomes incoherent. The two hemispheres stop talking to each other, and you don't think clearly when you're under stress, do you? You become an amped up animal. That's the primitive nervous system. Is the gazelle that's running away from the cheetah. That's what you become when you're stressed. And if you stay that way, well, you stay that way. And your brain is just constantly running away from the cheetah and looking at how it's going to do that and how long it's going to take. That's it. Only thing it's interested in is keeping the body safe. And when it's doing that, it's constantly, hypervigilant everywhere very quickly. And that is a state of brain incoherence. And it's painful. You would imagine that. There's fear. There's anticipation of something awful. There's all the worry about, if that lion gets me, my family will starve. All of the things that we worry about now, but just, we don't realise that's what's going on. So it feels bad. Or, to continue the awful analogy, you're back at the cave with the kids and your mate has been taken by the saber-toothed lion. Oh shit. Now who's going to find us food? And I miss my mate, and there's grief, and there's sorrow, and there's worry, and it's still the same stuff, and your brain is constantly, imagine the stress, right? Brain incoherence. Now, what's heart incoherence? Heart incoherence, and I talk about this a lot, it's very simple, really. From beat to beat, there is a period of time between heartbeats. You kill the lion and feed your family. Exactly. Wouldn't that be nice? From beat to beat, there is a period of time between heartbeats. And what researchers, particularly at the Heart and Math Institute, but also many others, I'm sure, have discovered, is that there is a pattern about the space between the beats, as in that interval of time. And if you graph those intervals, then what you find is when someone's under stress, the graph looks like this. It's just, it's crazy. It's just jagged and very incoherent. And when the heart is beating irregularly like that, and I don't mean an arrhythmia, okay? That's even more incoherence when the heart starts to beat irregularly. But when the heart is beating in a way that when you map the space of time between the beats and you get that jagged thing, irritation, fear, sorrow, shame, anger, whatever it is, that's heart incoherence. And because the heart and the brain have, a lot of communication from the heart and the brain to the brain, and, there's neurons that go between them, and 95% of the communication from the heart to the brain, or the brain to the heart, 95% goes up. So if your heart's incoherent doing that jagged thing, and the heart actually tells the brain what to do, well, then you're getting a really incoherent signal, right? You feel bad. There's incoherence in your heart. It's very easy when your heart's incoherent to have your brain go incoherent, and then your brain's incoherent, and then your heart gets more incoherent, and there's this feedback and this cycle and this loop. And because you're thinking these low frequency, scary, angry, whatever it is, thoughts, the neurotransmitters that are jumping the synapse for you, which will match the frequency of what you're thinking, yeah, they do, different neurotransmitters for different frequencies, are sending the signal to your hypothalamus and your pituitary to make neuropeptides that then tell your hormonal centers to get you to feel exactly the same way that you were just thinking. And then you have those feelings and your brain is spying out on your body, and then, round and round and round. But there's another piece to this. All of those negative, uncomfortable, painful feelings are related to stress hormones. And if you are feeling that way, your body is currently juiced up on stress hormones. Those stress hormones, it's a fact, push the genetic buttons for disease. Oh dear. And more than that, this is also a fact. If you're constantly in fear, if you're constantly in anger, if you're constantly in shame, you're constantly in depression, you have these people who get chronic pain. And I've just been reading about it in Joe's first book. the stress hormones, they're liquid energy in small doses. If you need to run away from a saber-toothed tiger, you need stress hormones because they just give so much energy to the body. Run. But if you keep on pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring stress hormones because you're having these ongoing, chronic, stressful feelings, what happens is that the stress hormones, cortisol in particular, gets lodged in the tissues of your body, and it causes pain. Literally causes pain. And it's like, oh my God. And there's a thing called corticotrophic releasing hormone made in the pituitary, I think. And that one, because you have that, and then down the track it tells your adrenals to make cortisol and adrenaline. But that corticotrophic releasing hormone, if you have too much of that, that can interfere with growth. There's a reason why I'm 5'2". I was stressed as a kid. It was no one's fault, but I was. It's amazing. It actually stunts growth. And some people who, have had a really stressful childhood think, oh, that's why I'm short. Yeah, it is. It just turns things off. And that also, I've forgotten the fact, but I just read it yesterday. It also just can contribute to so many problems in the body. So there is a direct loop between feeling all this stuff, being incoherent in the brain, which is the painful thought, and incoherent in the heart, which is the painful feeling, and it loops round and round and round. It has these really direct physical and epigenetic effects. And I just wanted to explain that. It is very powerful. It's amazing what I'm learning. And, part of the benefit of explaining it to you, of course, is that if I can explain it to you, it means I understand it. I'm going to read it again. Trust me, I read that book a number of times. There's so much information in it. It's like a, 101 neuroscience, and probably a bit more than that. So, painful thoughts and feelings, we need to break the cycle. Yeah. Oh, wow, Sanchia. There probably are some people who are short and didn't have an incredibly stressful childhood. But, I remember I was always angry. I was just so frustrated. I don't get this. But I didn't even know that I don't get this. I didn't get the fact that I didn't get it. I was just this angry kid. Brilliant, but angry. And socially incompetent. So anyway... So what do? Well, for me, in an emergency, and even if it's not an emergency, if I think, oh my God, I need to change my state, I'm getting better with practice. Oh, believe me, at putting my attention right here in my heart. I know, becoming supernatural, amazing, life-changing, wow book. I get you, Andrew. It's just amazing when I read that book. Anybody who hasn't and is interested in why I'm raving about this stuff, go get the book. So to come into heart coherence, and there's pictures in there of this heart coherence stuff. That's the one I'm thinking of when I'm talking about it. To come into your heart, and by come into your heart, I mean put your awareness in the center of your chest, not on the outside of you, I mean in the middle of your body. Because there's a big old brain in your heart. It's 40,000 neurites. That's the thing that you want to make coherent. And you do it by putting your awareness there and breathing in and out. Breathing in and out of your heart. It's the weirdest thing. It took me a while to get my head around it. Yeah, it's funny how much we don't realise it, Sunshine. And it's because we don't even realise there's anything else. It's just how it is when you're small. Because you've got no analytical mind to say, hang on a minute, this is really stressful. Oh, this is just life. Okay, this is normal. So, and I'm in the middle of releasing so much stuff. It's amazing, but it's still a bit scary because it's all so new. Oh, honey Jan. Hey, it's okay to go away from things and come back to them, Give yourself a break. If you want to leave it and pick up something else, it's all right. Be kind to you. It's a fascinating book, It's okay. No one's going to tell you off. How stressed you're white. Yeah, it's just patterned, right? It's programmed. God, breaking the programs. So this is the simple way to do it. I'm not saying it's easy, but this is simple. To put your awareness in your heart, in your chest, and breathe in and out of there. And I was thinking about this just over the weekend and thinking, well, you know, the way I do it, I breathe into my heart and I blow up that balloon I kept talking about. But when I breathe out, I blow it up some more. I never actually come back in because, you know, the reason why I just love to make that balloon get bigger and bigger in my heart is because I know that if I can make my awareness go out around me, into the space around me, I'm going to make my brain coherent as well. Because remember, when you're in stress and you're looking for the saber-toothed tiger and you're looking for the tree you got to go around and the rock you don't want to trip over and the bill you got to pay and the and the car accident that just happened, whatever, your brain's going all over the place. But if you start to open your focus and you sense the space around you, close your eyes. God, it's such a relief to shut my eyes some days. And put your awareness, your sensing into the space around you. As soon as you start to do that, you're not thinking about the thing. You're not thinking about it. And if you keep doing that consistently, and it's a skill, and sometimes I have to wrestle my brain to do this. Sometimes it's easy, and sometimes there's a fight. But I know that it's always worth doing. Sooner or later, the analytical mind that is so busy trying to keep me safe gets to turn off, shut the hell of heaven up, and then I'm more in my heart. Then my autonomic nervous system is not constantly fighting with my analytical brain and reacting to the stress cues and saying, oh, there's a lion there, there's a tiger there, I'm going to die. Yeah, and it's challenging. Yeah. So you're really having another kind of initiation into coherence, Linda. I'm feeling it, honey. And the more I can do this, and sometimes it's moment to moment, and sometimes it is exhausting, fighting for my own. But when I can break my own stress response and come into my heart and open my focus, it all stops. It did this morning. It is key. It is key. There's nothing else that works for me. Nothing. You know, and I'm the person who didn't realise I was actually living with chronic anxiety. And what's interesting now is because of the profound shift that's happening in me, these whole new levels of trauma that are just surfacing, and it's really weird and really powerful, and they're not from this lifetime, they're not even from this galaxy or whatever, you know. They're so, I didn't know this was me, but everything that's coming in, I got to deal with everything that's coming in. Abigail, it's lovely to see you. I know, I'm out of time. So I'm going to love you and leave you, but that's the thing today. Whenever you're feeling bad, your heart and your brain are incoherent. You have the ability to change it. It's not necessarily easy. It gets easier with practice because you develop a skill. Being still and resting in the now moment. Exactly, Linda. And you're a master at it. And you have a new challenge along with all the great good things that came with it. Yeah, you're dealing with everyone else's incoherence now. But you know how to do it for yourself. And the more you practice it, the better you get at it. So, big love. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.